So, to summarise where we are, well, firstly, welcome back. Hello. Rude of me just to start talking at you. You might well be doing something else at home. But time to focus back on the screen because we are halfway through this game. It's match 19 of the European Cricket Series Vienna. We have one more match to complete after this. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have seen Pakistan batting 141 for 3. They looked on top throughout. The Austria bowlers struggled. The Austria fielders struggled a little. It will take a very, very impressive effort from Austria CC to get over the line, but let's not write them off. We have 2 batsmen who are merely human. We have 11 fielders who are merely human. Let's see what happens. If sport were that simple, that you went by form and reputation, we wouldn't actually have to play it, would we? So, Austria might well come up with an upset, but an upset it would be. So, as soon as I have the names of the opening batsmen, I will let you know.
As we mentioned a little bit earlier on, Pakistan CC have formed quite a good habit of defending totals not far south of what they've just set. So they've nudged it into the 140s range, but high 120s and early to mid 130s. They've defended every time, and I think that's up to 4 times they've done it now.
Good spot. As you always do, Richard, just sat there with facts and figures to hand to put every score into context.
Context
is everything, dear boy. Context is important in so many ways, isn't it?
Isn't it just? You wouldn't have any callbacks without context.
We'd have nothing without context. Now that... Oh,
stung.
That did sting. It was a terrific shot. It was a lovely wallop towards the fielder. Hit him in the belly, I think it's fair to say.
It would hit him somewhere on the hand enough to have him shaking it.
Both hands, I think, yeah. But it was going very fast. It's the sort that either sticks or doesn't. I know that sounds ridiculous, but you know what I mean.
A wake-up call of the worst kind for a fielder. First ball of the innings. Same man back into action. It is Shadnan. It is Shadnan, is it not? Yes. Man who made all those runs came just short of his 100 when Pakistan CC were posting that score of 141 for 3. And Naveed leading the attack in the defence of that total. The man who lives down in Knittelfeld.
Knittelfeld. He's played a similar sort of shot each time. That's very correct. It's got a nice high elbow. Pushed down the ground. 4 runs. Very nice.
It's Hassan Ashfaq, who we've seen rack up a few in this competition, actually lead the aggression from the top of the order for Austria Cricket Club Vienna, who continue to find the balance between being technically correct and hitting it over the ropes with aggression. And they are going to go places consistently when they strike that balance. They're on their way to finding the perfect sweet spot all the time.
That sounded beautiful, talking about the sweet spot. And sure enough...
Bang out the middle of the bat.
Absolutely, like a pound-shot Mystic Meg, Richard calls it. All the way out the sweet spot, right into the players' area. Clatters into a beer umbrella, which is very different to a cocktail umbrella. You stick a beer umbrella in your glass and you'd know about it.
You would, you certainly would. Your beer might not last very long.
Was nudged out on the offside and runs away. It was Just a nudge.
Sometimes a nudge is enough.
That was very, very nice.
Got to know where the fielders are, mind you.
Yeah, well-placed nudge.
So, strike hogger extraordinaire, Hassan Ashfaq, is making the most of his spell at the striker's end. One ball to come in the over. Let's see if he can rotate things his way.
I bet he does. I bet we see a scampered one into the leg side. Oh, I take it back. It's a bludgeoned 4 into the leg side. So he will allow his partner at least one ball this innings. As the umpire calls over, the batsmen have to switch over. And Naveen Wijasekara makes his way to his ground.
So Hassan, as I said, has been leading the I don't think, well, recovery could be the right word for Austria Cricket Club Vienna, as they've proceeded to post larger and larger totals as from a low base in this tournament, and he's now the 5th highest run scorer in the competition. He's racked up 191, striking at 201.
Yes, it's been a bit of a thankless week for him. He's played very well individually. To say he's carried the team would be perhaps unfair. There were some other good performances from the Austria boys. But it's been a big task for one man to do so much, to score such a proportion of a side's runs.
He has, with his bare hands, shown what can be done with a slight change of approach. And says, in your face, Shadnan.
There you go.
The near Centurion from earlier. Anything you can do? Well, long way from that, I suppose. But 24 from 7, that's a fine start.
It is indeed. And people who haven't seen any of the matches running up to this will wonder why I was so keen to dismiss the chances of Austria CC Wien as their 2 batsmen walking out to the crease. They'll think, that commentator is very, very biased, isn't he? Well, I have been biased. I've been biased the other way, in that I've wanted these boys to come out of this with a couple of wins, because it's been very dispiriting for them at times. But still rooting for them. Come on, fellas. The keeper has absolutely no support from the bowler in the appeal. And if there's anything to help you when you're an umpire in your decision for a little nick behind, if the bowler doesn't go up, that's as good as saying you didn't hit it.
Sometimes even if the bowler does go up,
oh yes,
that's not enough to stick up the finger.
Nice.
That's the second time we've seen that late dab or dink.
Well, that was a dab. That was definitely a dab.
Straight bat. And again, he's not the bludgeoner. And we've talked about this change of approach, this mix of being technically correct and aggression. He hasn't lost that Austria Cricket Club Vienna, those textbook shots. He doesn't slog everything to cow, but he's finding a way to score quickly with all those good shots around the wicket. It's most pleasing to see.
He's a very polished batsman.
It would be a shame if he'd achieved what he'd achieved by tearing up the copybook and batting like every other team. I am generalizing to an extent, as one must in T10.
Everybody else has batted horribly and ugly.
No, he has that shot, but he also has many others.
That is a fair point to say. He has every shot in the book as well as the shots that aren't in the book.
Although if there is a book on T10 shots, that one would be on the first 3 pages somewhere.
Bowler trots in, just accelerates towards the umpire and gets a very nice ball that lifts. And one wonders why bowling isn't that easy.
They're old Cougs. They're in the Waikato and Hamilton. Here's McCoy. Starts short. And not even the protection back there is going to stop this one from Johnson Charles.
Well, a bit of local knowledge working to the advantage of Johnson Charles. Both Obed McCoy and Johnson Charles represent the same first-class team, the Windward Islands. Johnson Charles from St. Lucia, Obed McCoy, St. Vincent. Would have played and practiced and trained alongside Obed McCoy quite a while, so that familiarity is always useful.
Oh dear. Yeah, it's a biggie. Just helped it on its way for a hero maximum. The first one of match 5. JC.
Well, if you're a bowler and you don't know what's Johnson Charles' strength, it's his ability to play square off the wicket, whether through the leg side or through the off side. Make sure you have your length right. That is not what Obed McCoy has done for the first couple deliveries. Needs to be a little bit fuller.
Sure does. But, think about Fletcher standing a long way back, and then so this fellow swings the new ball. It's still a fraction short. Thinking it too. Slow to get going, Johnson Charles. He wants it though. No, he'd have to hurry. That's not a bad throw. Stumps destroyed by the Spiceman. He did get the dive in.
Didn't look all that quick, Johnson Charles. Still getting warm. Only into the second over of this innings. Let's have a look at the running. Yeah, just pushing there and realizes that he had to take the dive.